This year's NBA draft was full of talent. Everyone was hyped about seeing Victor Wembanyama along with the Thompson twins and Scoot Henderson, and rightfully so. But the player that the Atlanta Hawks acquired might just be an accidental future superstar. Atlanta acquired his draft rights via a trade from the Boston Celtics. He was selected 39th overall, and usually when players are selected that late, it's seldom a good sign. If you don't know his name by now, he is Mohamed Gay. During his 2-year career at Washington State, he averaged a respectable 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 1.7 assists per game. He became the 9th Washington State Cougar to be drafted within the top 40, and their top draft pick since Klay Thompson back in 2011. Mohamed played in 33 games in his final year, upping his stats to 14 points and 8 rebounds, which landed him on the All-Pac-12 team. The 6'11" forward also had 15 double-doubles, which was the most in the conference, and the 6th most in a single season in Washington State history. And all of those stats are well and good and all, but I'm sure some of you are thinking why exactly this kid is exceptional. And to answer that, we first have to get into the Summer League. In his Summer League debut, he put up 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. On paper, that doesn't look all that impressive, but if you watch the game, you would know stats are not everything. And it's not like those are bad stats anyways. But for starters, he shot 40% from 3 in the Summer League. He was receiving dribbling handoffs, shooting contested corner threes, and even drained a 3 out of the triple threat. So he showed tons of versatility as a 6'11" stretch 4. The Hawks were 21st in three-point percentage last season, so I think it's safe to say that shooting the 3, not exactly their strong suit. Gay looked highly poised and comfortable shooting them as well. And this is staggering because he wasn't a shooter in college, shooting just 27% on 1.2 attempts per game. He's clearly been in the lab working on that shot. And if he wants to see the court in his rookie year, he's going to need to consistently shoot well. The Hawks would have no choice but to play him if he's shooting well. And the other intriguing thing about his offense is his mid-range shot. In college, he shot 37.8% on 82 attempts, which was above average. And it's fascinating because players like this are usually just one-dimensional, but not Gay. It is clear that the mid-range is his go-to spot. He showcased that in the Summer League a few times. In today's NBA, we're seeing sort of a resurgence in the mid-range. All of the best scorers in the league utilize the mid-range at a high rate. Think of Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Devin Booker, DeMar DeRozan, Brandon Ingram, SGA, and many other top elite scorers prioritize the mid-range. Now, I'm not saying that Mohamed Gay is going to be on their level when it comes to the mid-range jumper, but at the same time, it isn't wise for me to say he wouldn't, because in Joel Embiid's rookie year, no one thought he would be one day one of the deadliest mid-range scorers in the NBA. I think the most accurate comparison for Gay is Pascal Siakam, which is funny because at the recording of this video, there have been reports that the Hawks are interested in trading for him. But offensively, they have similar games. Siakam, too, is effective in the mid-range. He ranked near the top 10 in mid-range efficiency this past season. So Siakam is an elite mid-range specialist. In Siakam's rookie season, he was extremely raw, averaging only 4 points and 3 rebounds in 15 minutes per night. In his second season, he averaged 7 points, and then he emerged as a rising star in year 3, averaging 16 points per game while slowly extending his range to the three-point line and becoming more efficient around the hoop. Gay could have the same start if allowed to learn and grow. And remember that Siakam was on a perfect Raptors team in his rookie and sophomore season. They were one of the best teams in the NBA in his first 2 years in the league. While the 2023 Hawks most likely won't be as good as the 2016 and 17 Raptors, they still will be a playoff team. I could see Gay being a contributor. Maybe not a vital piece who will average over 10 a game, but I think he's a long-term investment. And if developed correctly, he could become a perfect player down the road. Now, it wouldn't be a Pascal Siakam comparison if Gay didn't compete on the other end of the court. Defensively, he has elite physical tools. He's 6'11", barefoot, and has a massive 7'3" wingspan. And he's very fluid for someone his size, like very fluid. This is another reason the Hawks can't afford to sit him on the bench for the entire season. He improves all of their significant weaknesses. They were ranked 22nd in defensive rating and 29th in points allowed in the paint. So there's no other way to put it. They are a below average defensive team, to put it nicely. They have too many average to below average defenders in the rotation. Trae Young, Sadiq Bey, AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson, and Bogdanovich in the same rotation just didn't cut it on this end of the court. And teams took advantage of that. And it certainly doesn't help that they added another defensive liability in Patty Mills and Kobe Buffkin. While DeJounte Murray and DeAndre Hunter are outstanding defenders, they can't make up for the rest of their roster being underwhelming on this end. Plus, Murray has never been a defensive stopper. He's more of an elite off-ball pest. And DeAndre Hunter is a defensive stopper, but I still wouldn't say he's elite at either. So overall, Atlanta needs as much help as they can get defensively, and Muhammad will provide tons of versatility and energy, sort of like a more grounded Jackson Hayes. He may not be a lockdown defender, but he will contest everything at the rim, and be mobile and tenacious enough to give 100% effort when guarding out on the perimeter, no matter the player or position. But now let's talk about a few players on the roster who could benefit from having him on the court, and vice versa, starting with the man himself, Trae Young. The most obvious way they could help each other is in the pick and roll. Trae ranked third in assists per game last season, and other than James Harden, he's undoubtedly the best pick and roll guard. Yes, even over Chris Paul. Big men in general always benefit from playing with an elite passer and playmaker. During Harden's Houston Rocket days, he completely elevated Clint Capella's game. And during Russell Westbrook's OKC days, Steven Adams probably received the easiest dump-off passes in NBA history. But with Gay's ability to stretch the floor, this is going to allow him to be in many pick-and-pop actions as well. His position on the court is most likely going to be at power forward. And even after trading away John Collins, he's still third on the depth chart according to ESPN, right behind Sadiq Bey and Jalen Johnson. And that really isn't that bad at all. Honestly, he's still like the 10th best player on the roster. So if he doesn't impress the coaches during his official debut, then he could be sent down to the G League. And that'll probably happen anyways. He's still raw, and going down to the G League could be a game changer for him. If he can get comfortable with being an all-around scorer in the G League, then at least some of it can translate among NBA talent as we mentioned earlier. He has a strong mid-range, showing improvement from three, and he's a high-energy and high-motor big who can roll to the rim and give you many second-chance opportunities. And that's why I'm so high on him. He's incredibly versatile on both ends of the floor, making him a flexible option for the team. Another underrated skill he has is post playmaking, which again is why his comparison to Pascal Siakam is spot on. Gay has shown flashes of being able to fit passes in tight spaces and make intelligent decisions with the ball in his hands. And really, that's all I can say about that because we still need to see a lot more of this. But I'm pointing it out that he has that ability. Hopefully, somebody will unlock it. DeJounte Murray is good in the pick and roll as well, so Gay's gonna have two guards who can get him the ball whenever he's on the court. But all in all, the Hawks have a pretty good forward rotation. Sadiq is a solid young scoring forward who can get you anywhere between 13 to 15 points per night. Jalen Johnson is still raw, but his development is heading in the right direction. And DeAndre Hunter is an excellent two-way wing. And plus, he's still young and will be turning 26 this December. Honestly, I'm expecting him to have his best year this season. He averaged 15 points per game and shot 36% from three. Now, adding Muhammad Gay to the mix, they finally have some more defense. And as I said earlier, I don't expect him to be an X factor in his rookie season. But still, everyone will see his potential whenever he does suit up for the Hawks. The Hawks also still have two quality centers in Clint Capella and Onyeka Okongwu. They're suitable rim protectors, even though the Hawks had a horrible paint defense according to statistics, but that had more to do with their poor perimeter defense. Every team they faced could easily penetrate the lane every possession because the Hawks couldn't guard anyone in open space. But what do you guys think about Muhammad Gay? Does he have star potential, or do you think we're overreacting? Let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.